Hi, my name is Sandra Lafort. I'm a professor in the School of Nursing at Memorial University in St. John's, Newfoundland. I've been working with people who have chronic pain for about the past 25 years or so. What you are about to see are people who have been very successful at managing their chronic pain using a wide variety of strategies. I hope that what you see will be of value to you.
So my name is Kathy Zader, and I was formerly an elementary school teacher, and I enjoyed teaching children, and then I was afflicted by fibromyalgia, and part of the cognitive aspects caused me to not be able to remember where I was in the middle of a lesson, so I had to quit teaching. And the doctor did all kinds of tests for me, eliminating all kinds of causes that they knew, and finally I thought that I was dying. So the rheumatologist diagnosed fibromyalgia. And I had 14 out of the 18 points that they used for the diagnostic tool at that time. I hurt from the tips of my hair down to the tips of my toes. Everything hurts me. I'm not sure when I first came to terms with that. I think it was a very gradual adjustment. At first, you accept the medications that they use to treat you, but the medications really didn't have much impact on my pain. Most of them are antidepressants to try to help you have better sleep because there's such a fatigue component of fibromyalgia. But I found that my fatigue wasn't that bad, it was the pain, and all of the medications caused weight gain, and I'm not the kind of person that really needs to add any more weight. So we stopped the medications, and I had heard of warm water exercises, and so I started trying that, and that helped me more than anything else. Part of the acceptance of the chronic pain is that you never can make all of the pain go away, that you have to accept a certain amount of pain, and it's how much you can tolerate and cope with to still maintain a good quality of life. Sometimes it's just aching in various parts of your body, and it moves around. Like some days I'll get up and it's my whole body, I feel like I've got a flu. Other days it may be in the shoulder girdle or in the hips. Sometimes it's a sharp pain, and those I tend to use some creams to try to settle it down, or massage and that kind of thing to help it, just make it more tolerable. Initially what I found was that I needed to keep active, first of all, because if you don't keep active, you will get worse. You're just naturally, your muscles will atrophy, and then you don't have strength, and everything starts to go. Your circulation becomes much poorer, you have bloating problems, etc. So you have to keep active, that's a given. And people who are in chronic pain, of course, don't want to move because every time they move it hurts. So it's getting past that hurdle is really essential. Finding some activity that will help you control your pain and yet not be in more pain is finding that happy medium. Nobody can go through chronic pain without having some professional counseling, whether it's a social worker, psychologist, psychiatrist, something. You can't lay this on your family and your friends because they will become intolerant of it. And so if you can find a professional that you get along with, then use that person's skills to help you cope with your anger. You have grieving, you have resentment, that why did it happen to you, and learn how to deal with it so that you don't become bitter. So I think I avoided being bitter in that my nature is that I'm a positive person, and I didn't ask the question, why me? I accepted the fact that some people get diseases and that you can't do anything about that. You can't think back on your life and go, what did I do wrong in my life that I deserve to have this? And I think that helps too. I think I went through grieving. I think I missed the life that I had before. I was very active. We did lots of things together, and I have to constantly pace myself and plan for things. I try to make sure that I prioritize things that are family dues so that I don't miss out on those, special events. And I know some people who have chronic pain that they miss those events. And I go, you can't get those back again. Even if you go for an hour, find a place to take a rest, and then go back into the activity, don't miss out on it because you can never get it back.
My name is Sandra Gartz, and I was a retired nurse. I was injured at work and I'm no longer able to work, so I do volunteer work for the Kitchener-Waterloo Fibromyalgia Support Group and the Canadian Pain Coalition. I'm secretary on the board of the coalition. I was working in home care and helping someone into bed, and she had her hand around my neck and then injured my neck, and then I have pain down my right arm, and prior to that I had fibromyalgia, so because of those two injuries I was no longer able to work. Depression goes along with it. When you live with chronic pain for a long time, then you often have depression associated with it. And this last couple of years, my depression has been really significantly impacting my life. I've increased my medication. I've seen my doctor. I've talked to my friends. I've gone to counseling. You know, there's not one thing you can do to help depression or chronic pain. There's many things that you have to put the puzzle together. You know, you have days where you say, why me? How come this is happening? And then you just have to say, come on, you can do this. You've done this before. Keep going, keep going. You know, look at what you've got in your life. You know, I've got a loving husband. I've got great children. I've got a very supportive family and friends network. I can get through this. It's tough, but I can do it. Where doesn't it hurt is more the question. I hurt all over all the time. So sitting here, my arms are really sore, my neck is sore, my back, my feet, everything hurts with fibromyalgia. When my pain is the worst, I find that my hot tub helps me the best because heat is my thing. Heat, for whatever reason, whether it tricks my brain, it's soothing, and you're weightless in the water, and if I can get in the water and in the heat, it just relaxes me and I just feel so much better. There's a lot of anger. I think that that's a normal thing to go through, but you have to get beyond that. You can't live your life angry all the time. And I went to counseling and she made me see, no, I can't push my children on the swings, but I baked with them. When I was tired, we lay down in bed and we read stories together. The children loved that. They still remember that. My husband's been very supportive through all this ordeal and through our lives. We were just newly married when I had my first injury, and he's my exercise coach. He'll say, do you want to go for a walk? And I'll say no, and he'll say, okay, be ready in 10 minutes, we're going anyway. If I'm not having the best day, he comes home and he just cooks supper because I haven't got it ready yet. Gives me a hug, gives me a kiss, tells me he loves me. You know, it's okay, we'll get through this together. He's my rock.
My name is Lynn Cooper, and I'm president of the Canadian Pain Coalition. I started the journey on chronic pain 25 years ago when I sustained an injury to my back in a very preventable office accident. I was the best patient that I could possibly be. I did everything that was asked and more, and fully expecting that the situation with my back would be fixed. And then I would be able to get back to my career, which I was just starting in urban and regional planning. Unfortunately for me, the pain didn't go away. The neuropathic pain that goes down my legs and into my toes at its worst. The only experience that I'd ever had of pain was acute pain. So, say I had a toothache. I'd go to the dentist, they would fix it, the pain would go away. I was fixed and on I went. It never occurred to me that 25 years later, a lifetime almost later, I would still be living with chronic pain. The difference for me is that I've had my journey with pain and I've come out the other side. I'm no longer disabled, debilitated, demoralized, and dehumanized by pain. I am a person who lives with pain, but I'm able to live a happy, healthy, productive life with pain included in my life, but not as something that rules it. We know what the right course of action is for management, which is multidisciplinary. My peers can't get access to that. So what I say to them when they first learn that they have chronic pain is to find out as much as they possibly can about their pain condition. Somehow they develop a working relationship with one or more of the healthcare providers that should be involved in their pain care. So that might be their doctor, or it might be a physiotherapist, or even a psychologist or social worker who can help them with the emotional part of the pain. I also suggest really strongly that they identify in their lives the people who support them. A family member, a friend who believes them when they say that they're in pain, that they're trying their best, and that they really will start to overcome their pain. They'll find out what works for them, how they can take back, inch by inch, control of their lives in living with pain. But it's going to take time, and they have to trust that it's a process and that they will make it through. And maybe through the conversation, there's something that I can say that will encourage them not to give up, because it would be a terrible thing for people to give up. I almost did.
My name is Kurt Gangenbach. I'm 41 years old. I broke my neck playing hockey in January of '89, and it was at that time that I started to experience neuropathic pain basically throughout my entire body around the time of my injury. Because I tripped and went head first into the boards, breaking my neck as a result, I am a C4 quadriplegic. Now I have neuropathic pain throughout my entire body. It kind of started in my left pectoral muscle, but then spread to the right shoulder, eventually spreading across my entire upper body, down my arms. It was around 2000 that it spread down into my abdomen, my stomach, and just within the last couple of years, 2010 I guess, was when it spread down into my legs and into my feet. So it's basically from my chest or my neck right down to my toes. Moving me is painful. If you were to move my right arm right now, or left arm, or my legs, maybe not too much, but being moved, I don't like being moved, let's put it that way. So it's hard to exercise, so it's really in the mornings when my pain is probably at its best or lowest that I do some arm stretching and things of that nature. If my pain's really bad, like an 8 or a 9 on the pain scale, then unfortunately I've got to spend it in bed because it's just too painful to do anything. Breathing can be I shouldn't say a challenge, but just if I were to inhale a lot, just my chest expanding is very painful. So it really depends on where on the pain scale I am in terms of what I do and how my day goes. If it's a good day on the pain scale, then I work at my computer where with voice activated I don't have to move too much, and it makes things easy. But it all depends on where on the pain scale I am as to how active I am. I think the best way of putting it is pain dictates the way I live my life more so than my disability. Just getting new medications helped a lot, but it's something where you don't get used to it. You just it's part of your daily life, unfortunately. I use medicinal marijuana to help me manage my pain during the day, and mainly at night. I don't like smoking during the day since I have to try and get some work done. But marijuana is not exactly cheap. It's nice that I can use it as a write-off in the future, but I could use some help with these things. You can't get angry too often, and you can't let it take control of your life. I mean, pardon my language, shit happens, but life goes on. You deal with it. Yeah, if I was to meet someone who is facing similar challenges to me as in terms of pain management, I think really the only advice that I could give them is they just have to be persistent in terms of moving on, knowing that there are unfortunately going to be bad days, but there are good days, and you just gotta push through it. Life's too short.
Hi again. The people that you've just heard from in this video described how they self-manage their chronic pain. And you probably noticed that they use more than one strategy. They use a number of different things to help them every day. For example, getting as much knowledge as possible about your chronic pain condition and your medications is really critical. Talking with people who support you, such as family and friends. Developing good, open relationships with your healthcare providers and asking for help when you need it. Keeping as active as possible, physically active, exercising, as well as developing hobbies. Planning and pacing activities so that you get to enjoy the things you really want to. And keeping a positive attitude. I hope that the stories that you've just heard are inspirational to you and will help you. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Sandra Lafort.